All right, hello. We are going to finalize our 6.2 dividing polynomials. So previously, you did actually look at long division, and this time around, we're actually going to focus on the synthetic division. It's a little different. It's probably something you've never studied, but it is different, and it might be something that you like better than long division. So there will be some options, for the future as we get out of this chapter. If you ever come across these problems, you may like this technique better. So here we go. I'll show you some examples and how it kind of compares. All right, so here's our first slide. Synthetic division. It's different from long division in that it does not record the variables, and it's kind of pieced up into different compartments. So we're going to take a look. Here's your long division problem, and we have 2x cubed minus 13x squared plus 26x minus 24 divided by x minus 4. And so I show that right here on the right side. So what we actually have to do first is we have to solve the x minus 4 and put it equal to 0. So once we do that, x minus 4 equals 0, that's going to lend itself to be x equals a 4. So that 4 right here actually shows up right here in that little L shape, the backwards L. So the 2 corresponds to the 2x cubed, negative 13 corresponds to the x squared, 26 corresponds to the 26x, and negative 24 corresponds to negative 24. Notice it's still in degree order, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Now, all these other numbers are kind of what happens once you get going in the process. The very first thing you're going to do is you're going to take that 2 and drop it down to the very bottom. So you have this horizontal line right here. I'm going to highlight. And once I drop that 2 down, I actually multiply this 2 right here by the 4 right there, and I get 8. And so that actually jumps into that spot right there. So negative 13 plus 8 is negative 5. Negative 5 times the 4 right here is negative 20, and I continue on. So I'm going to demonstrate this on the problem. So you can pause this and keep going, or you can just kind of move on with me to the next problem. So first off, if I actually, hang on a second. Let's see if I can undo this. There we go. All right. So first off, if I actually just follow these directions, okay, in the box right here, it says write the terms in descending order with their degrees. So I've got that done in the problem, and this is just the one from the previous page. Next, though, it says write the constant r of the divisor, x minus r in the box. So I'm going to take the x minus 4 and solve it. I'm going to get a 4. So I always start with that number right there. And then I can write down my coefficients of a 2, a negative 13, a 26, and negative 24. I'm going to put a line right here, and now I am ready to start. It says bring down the first coefficient, so I do. And then I am going to simply say 2 times 4 is going to give me 8. So 8 goes right here. And I will add vertically. So negative 13 plus 8 is negative 5. And then negative 5. And I'm going to multiply it times the 4. That's going to give me negative 20. So negative 20, so 26 minus the 20, basically, is a 6. And then 6 times 4 is 24. So negative 24 plus 24 is 0. That's my remainder. So I will proceed to just write this as 2x. I'm going to go down 1 degree. That's going to be x squared, not x cubed, minus 5x. And plus a 6. This is my final answer with no remainder. All right? Let's go to the next problem. Alright, in this particular problem, I've already set up a little bit for you, but look at the original equation, or the original question. It has 5x to the fourth minus 4x squared plus x plus 6, but what's missing? And if you're thinking about the x cubed, you're right. So we have to fill that in with a 0. So as I come through here, and I fill in like my 5, I'm not going to go to negative 4 yet, I'm going to go to my 0. So 0 would be next, then negative 4, and then a 1, and then a 6. Alright, so that represents my 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 degrees. So again, I bring my 5 down. 5 times the 3 is a positive 15. 0 plus 15 is 15. 15 times 3 is 45. Negative 4 plus 45 is actually just 41. And 41 times 3, I believe we have 123. So 1 plus 123 is 124. And 124 times 3, maybe I'm doing this, I think I'm doing it right. Let's check the work here. So 124 times, alright, we're going to go with this. So it's 372, and that will go here. So 6 plus that is 378. Now that's going to give us a remainder, which is fine. So we're going to have 5, let's see, x cubed. So you always knock this down. Hang on a second, I've got this. Okay. Alright, we'll keep going. Sorry about that. 5x cubed, you always knock the first exponent down 1. Alright, so 5x to the third power now. And then we go 15. So that's a plus 15x squared, and then plus 41x, and plus, I'm going to run out of space, but that's okay, 124, and then let me put this right here, plus 378 over, and it's going to be x minus 3. Alright? So that's your final answer for that one. Okay, so what you see here is that special way to show division with that negative 1 exponent on the right side. So the very first thing I want you to do is look at your 2x minus 3. You're going to need to solve this for x so that you can get that little spot right here and fill that in. Alright, there's your setup, but what do you put there? That's going to be the solution to this little problem. So you're going to add 3 to the right side, and you're going to get 2x equals 3. This is all just done on the side, and then x will equal 3 halves. So you're going to put 3 over 2 right there. Now that's going to be an awkward number to multiply by, but you guys can still do that with your calculator. So I want you to try this one. Okay? Pause the video and you can knock this one out. Alright, good luck. Alright, here's just a funny cartoon for you. Obviously, this is not how bridges are made, but you can take a little peek at this. How do they know the road limit on bridges, or the load limit on bridges? The kid's asking. The dad gives a kind of a stupid answer, but this is it's interesting. It's just some brief math humor. It happens in math. And here is your assignment. It might be tough to read, but it is up here, and it's also on your sheet. But this is part 1 and part 2. Synthetic is at the bottom, just 4 questions, and we'll talk more about some of the other details in class. All right, flip, don't flop, and I'll see you tomorrow in class. Bye.